Alright guys, welcome back to the Flip Flop Fab Shop. We're back on the old Polaris Trail Boss 350. I haven't started it for like a month or two. So I'm going to hook up the jumper to it. If it starts and runs fine, I'll go pick up a battery for it. Because I would use it more if it would run. Like if I didn't have to jump it every single time. So let's hook this bad girl up. We're hooked up. Key on. Absolutely lit. So I have a new battery coming. I drove around town all of yesterday trying to find a battery. No one had one except they're all AGMs, and I didn't want to pay 120 bucks for a battery for a four-wheeler that I got for free. So it was kind of tricky. This is like the wrong size, which is weird because it fits perfect in there, but this is a group size 10 or whatever. Apparently it's supposed to have a group size 14. But I found one. I actually ordered two. We'll see which one fits, but I'll update you guys on that when I get it in. They're both AGMs. One was 40 bucks, one was 60 bucks, so we'll see. But anyway, my neighbor, I guess he was digging around in his drawers probably, and he found a whole folder full of the Polaris information. And one of the thing had like the bill of sale from like 96 or something. Bunch of receipts from like local dealerships, Maxie's Motorsports. And then there's this, which is cool. And it talks about this rear brake. As you guys know, I didn't think I had any brakes, so I was going to replace the front ones. But if I don't have to do that, I don't want to do it. That's where this rear brake comes in handy. Let's find the page here. There it is. Rear brake, auxiliary brake system. You can adjust it. Apparently mine's not adjusted, or the pads are wore out, but I'm going to try to adjust it. So you gotta loosen this nut, and then turn it clockwise until the disc rotation becomes difficult. Rock the ATV back and forth slightly, the disc will drag. And then turn it out a quarter turn. So let's put it in neutral. So should be in neutral. Alright. Let's loosen up this nut. Okay, I loosen that nut there. Then I'm just gonna twist this knob. I guess pull it. Can't tell. So I got it adjusted, and you can see that's got more wear than it previously had. I mean, it's not stopping great, but it stops a little bit better, which is decent, I guess. Still not very confident with it, but I lowered the tire pressure because I had them at like 25. And so I lowered those. Now I think I'm going to start working on getting all of these panels back on there because it looks pretty bad. So I guess I'm going to do that. So I got most of the plastics and everything back together. I forgot to put the headlight in the right order, so it's not in there, but looks like a nice, well, not nice, but a decent four-wheeler again. Respectable, you know. I got my battery in. As you can see, it's taller because I believe this is the wrong size. But I am hoping this one fits, and I don't want to mess up this packaging. Because if it doesn't fit, I want to return it. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get it in there without damaging the battery, and hopefully it fits. It's just taller, so I'm gonna throw that in there real quick. All right, for the most part it fits, but it is in there at a weird angle. I don't know why. Maybe there's something in there. But that should reach, and that should reach. So I think we might be all right. Got the terminals hooked up. Oh, my ratchet's the wrong way. You hear how fast that thing started? Listen to that. It's impressive. Now it's time for the fun part of getting this little strap on there. I'll probably go underneath the positive. I don't know if this strap's necessarily long enough. That thing started so fast. Alright, might have to put you guys down. Alright, she's in there. She's ready to go. Let's start it up again. After many tries and many hours, I finally got the headlight to turn on. Oh, I finally got it to work. Only the high though. I had to add a extra ground to it for some reason. The brown ground wasn't enough, so I had to jump it. So I don't know, but it works now. Check it out. Pretty bright. I like how this whole thing glows too. It's kind of funny. So I got the headlight working, only the high beams though. Low beams don't work. I can only choose between the two. And these don't work even if you give them 12 volts. And so the bulbs are probably burnt out and they just look terrible. This one doesn't even stay in. So I got something a little more modern I can put on there. And they're LEDs, so they'll be a lot brighter. I got the pair of LEDs. They have the spot and floodlights. They're like 30 bucks. So I'm gonna see if I can jimmy rig up something here. All right, let's see what I got going on here. I just bolted this up temporarily. What really needs to happen is it's spaced up here. But tied the new ground and power. There's a jumper for some reason on the low beam. It goes in, then a wire comes out. Just like a jumper for the low beams. So that just plugs in. And then I have it plugged into the ground. So highs are the lows and lows are the highs. So we'll do, oh, turn the key on. There's high beams and low beams. Oh. So instead of running another wire to this, I'm gonna run the power and I'm gonna tie it in here. And then ground. I'll just plug another ground in. I should probably put a fuse in here somewhere, but we'll do that later. I'm gonna try to replace this pull cord, and I'm gonna take this cover off. Just got like 4 bolts. I'm gonna zip those off real quick. Since my return spring doesn't work, we're gonna have to take the big cover off. So I'm gonna have to take the sprocket off again, the big cover, and the little cover. And I think they're all probably 10s. I'm also gonna put a drain pan under here. I don't know if this is gonna drain out, because it has a fill hole, it looks like, for some oil. So I'll put a drain pan under here real quick.
Hope none of these are too tight. One more. This might be a put the camera down situation.
Might have to take this linkage off too, actually. So I actually was able to get the bottom bolt. It wasn't like misaligned as much as I thought. I just pushed down on this. I just did that and got in there. I'm just zipping these bolts off. A couple 10s.
Okay. Remember the long one goes up top.
Okay. This probably gonna have to take some persuasion. Oh, there's another bolt. This corner. Oh, of course. I had to take this spring off for the brake caliper lever and this rod that attaches it to the rear brake.
Where's the washer that went to that?
I got it. It's down here. And then I was able to get this tin on there. Now it's just a matter of getting it off. There are some threads in the block still, I think. Wow, this is the dumbest thing. I hate Polaris. So with my girlfriend's help, when I was rotating this like this, we could thread that bolt out because it cleared this bracket here. Is this bolt. Now let's just try to pull this thing out. Feels like it's...
I'm sure there's another bolt down there.
I'm sure there's stuff inside there.
Attached?
Yeah, well, not attached, but that's in the way of this getting off.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. Is there something down there? Can you see?
No, you should be able to just pull it off. It's caught right there.
Oh, that gear.
Yeah. Go up and then out. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so I'm gonna try to take. Actually, I don't know what to start with. I guess we can start with this spring. I don't know. I'll start with the screws. I don't know how this comes apart, but.
I kind of stripped. No, it's RTV.
Oh, that's what I wanted to mention. I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be oil in here. As you can tell, there's no oil in here. So, I'm not sure what's going on with that. Okay, so in order to get to the spring, the return spring, we're gonna have to break the this piece off. Not break it off, but remove it. But it's on there pretty tight, it looks like. We removed that little spring that goes on this so we can clamp it. So as you can see, it's clamped. I got some big channel locks. I'm gonna try to see if I can get this. Oh,
You said don't do that.
huh? We were able to get it off. I was trying to use channel locks, but since these are offset jaws, I couldn't get them to grip evenly. So I had to use some vice grips, which these ended up working pretty well. Now let's pull this out. Looks like that spring's cooked.
It doesn't actually look that bad.
Whoa. It's not supposed to be doing that. Maybe it's alright. Let's see. What's supposed to hook into it though? Okay, so the spring, the little piece, you can see this is what it did look like. And it had a weird bend in it. Like, it got messed up somehow. Instead of like a circular spring, it went this way, and then it had a big hook in it, and it went the other way. And then I was messing with this with some pliers, and it broke right there. So what I did was heat this up with my torch, and then I used my pliers and put this hook in it. But when that hooks into it, then this has a bunch of tension. Like you can barely hold it with your fingers. So that's the part we were missing. Now we just need to put it together. I'm gonna clean this out a little bit and clean up these edges. But I'll show you when I put it back together. After a couple tries, it was hard to record, but we got it all back together. That's all hooked around there. Screws are in. As you can see, it pulls me. It's got quite a bit of recoil now. Tension this. I think you have to rotate this 5 or 6 times to get the right amount of tension. Now my spring is shorter, so maybe it's like 4, something like that. But I'll put this all back together tomorrow, but I'm pretty happy with that. I got it all back together. I've yet to put oil in it because the RTV is still like setting. I don't want to put oil in there before it gets all set and cured. But I figured 1 or 2 more starts by pulling it, it's not going to hurt it since it started so many times without oil in it, as you could tell because there were some metal shavings in there. But if I turn the key, alright, a little update. I was looking at the owner's manual trying to figure out what oil and how much to put in the recoil starter, and it doesn't say to put any in there. It just says if you get moisture in there to drain it, because it has a drain plug. But it never says anything about the fill plug that it has right there. Then I looked online and it seems like there's some mixed responses to if it does need oil in there or not. Now I did see metal shavings, so in my opinion it makes sense to add oil, but that's just my opinion. I'm probably just gonna add some oil just because I want to. But when I was reading in there, I did see this, right, that bolt, that's actually a fill plug for the counterbalancer. So I guess this does actually have engine oil, which I was not aware of. So I'm gonna go ahead and check that. Oil should be on the threads, and we'll see what color it is. If it looks good, I guess that's a good sign, but hopefully it's not bad. So let's look into that. I did end up pouring oil in here, and as soon as I did it, it just poured out of the bottom. So I guess you don't have to pour oil in it. I checked the counterbalancer oil, and it looked good. I'll probably end up changing it eventually. And then the brakes, I didn't get to the brakes. I'm still trying to decide what I want to do, because it's going to be like a complete overhaul on the entire brake system. I'm going to show you a nighttime view of these headlights. And sorry if I sound a little winded. I was just running because I'm fat. Trying to lose some weight. But let's start with the low beams. Okay, here's the low beams. It actually looks brighter on camera for some reason, but it's nice. I like how it lights up the whole cowl thing. It's pretty funny. And then here's the high beams. Now I can adjust them a little bit, but not bad. They're also being partially blocked by that, so I might adjust them a little bit more, but they look a little low because I want them to be more like long distance. Yeah, they're too tight to adjust them by hand. Not too bad for 30 bucks. It also has the rear brake lights on 24/7. Well, when the Polaris is on. So pretty cool. Happy with that. Kind of like the old shitbox Polaris. Turned out to be a good little unit. Alright guys, so as you can see, the old Polaris is a shredder for 350 bucks. I actually have, what is it, $131 into the Polaris without those wheels and tires that I put on it. I mean, the wheels and tires were necessary because those old tires were shot. And to just replace those rear ones is going to cost more than buying a used set of all four. So that's why I bought the whole set of four. But yeah, you can't beat that. So I'm going to hold on to it for a while until like I decide I don't need it, because it's probably only worth like $1,000 to $1,500 or so. I mean, it still has a couple problems. The brakes, it sounds like hell. That clutch sounds like hell. It'll wake up the dead. But other than that, it's a pretty good rig. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'm sorry it's took me like 3 months to get this video together. I'm trying to go back to school and I work full time, so I was taking placement tests and trying to figure all that school stuff out. So that's what took so long, but no excuses. I need to do better. But thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and have a good one. Bye.